Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ATR's War, Bedlam Media's premier wrestling podcast covering AEW to WWE. I am Sam the SLB, future governor of NXT, co-host of ATR's War, ATR Rising Sun. Alongside me today is a man by an ex-wrestling's Nostradamus, Scott.
Well, there are plenty of signs out there, so boys, let's get our tinfoil hats on today. We got some fun stuff to talk about.
That we do. Also joining us is rounding out our cast, joining us once again as a full-time member, the bombastic triathlete, the man with all the stats, John the Stat Man.
I'll be running a triathlon very soon. I will have you all updated on that in a future episode. I appreciate that.
All right, guys, before we begin, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, join our Discord, and TikTok. TikTok, we're north of 500. Thank you, everyone. My goal now is to hit 1,000 on that platform by the end of the year. So I will be very vocal about that. Annoyingly vocal. Before we begin, obviously, our champion is not here. He's on assignment, so he sent me a note to read, a letter, if you will. You're lucky because the letter isn't anywhere close to something Zach or myself would have done. Dear ATR Galaxy, it is your reigning defending two-time Bedlam champion of the world. I unfortunately had some bad news as due to reasons beyond my control. I won't be on tonight's episode, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, your champ will be in next week. Today's advice to the dum-dums in the IWC, please go touch grass and or a person that you love. Thank you. ATR Bedlam champion, Man in Black.
What?
So that's his thought in summary, and I got some other thoughts here later on. So
he actually sent me a note as well, but I'll share that once we get to one of our later topics.
Okay. Well, it's been a very interesting week, to say the least. We've had a lot of interviews. We've had found out what's going on with Karrion Kross, obviously. Or we think we do. And
true.
Also updates on John Cena's retirement match. But I want to start off quickly talking about Shayna Baszler, who was just on Ariel Helwani's podcast this week. And she had made a note here. And this is interesting. I didn't realize that they could do this. But I don't know. I don't see these contracts. That she was released with about, if not more than 3 years left on her her contract. It's obvious, never a good feeling, but it was not unexpected. Just nothing was really hitting with creative, as much as it's a bummer that in that moment I kind of knew this was where it was at. It's the summary I'm just reading off of what we got here. How does creative not know what to do with a real MMA fighter when you can find a bajillion things to do with a former UFC fighter, also known as Brock Lesnar?
I don't know if it's a difference in size. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because I thought when she was with NXT, they booked her perfectly. She was a monster. Nobody could touch her. Even with her initial call-up when she was in the Elimination Chamber, and she eliminated everybody. And then what happens? She goes to Mania and loses. I mean, that I think was the first misstep by, the handling by Vince. But at that point, Vince was making mistakes left and right outside of all the shit that he's been doing. So I had high hopes that when Triple H fully took over, that they'd be able to find something for her. I thought that the Pure Fusion Collective was a start. Unfortunately, Zoe Stark getting injured for, probably a year plus. They let go of Sonya Deville. So, she found herself on the outs. And it's unfortunate because I feel like she could have been a multi-time champion by now. And now the only time I get to watch her is when she's on Twitch. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened with her so much, but I did see that she had 3 years left on her deal, which was a surprise to me. I had no idea that was a thing either, Sam. With her, I don't know if she just got lost in the shuffle. I mean, there's a lot of women on the roster these days. There's lots of titles for the women now. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not sure if she just got lost in there somehow, and they just it's unlike somebody like Triple H to not be able to find something for somebody. Um, I wonder if because like you said in NXT, she was this unstoppable former MMA person, and I don't know if Jade coming in. Not that Jade had an MMA background, but she's a very muscular woman,
Yeah.
and even with Jade, like they don't really know what they're doing with her right now. Um, so I feel like with Shayna's case, she just got kind of lost. Like I said before, she just got lost in the shuffle,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, it cost her job.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to the whole bloated roster thing. You could have everybody on the planet who's incredible, but then when your numbers start, and this is something we talked about with AEW, obviously this is something that came up in conversation with WCW.
Yep.
I would even argue there was probably a talking point back in the 80s when Vince was acquiring everybody, where it's like, hey, you're going to have all this good talent, but this great talent from their territories, eventually they're going to all be with great talent and somebody's going to get cut. Dino
Right.
Bravo comes to mind, obviously,
Yes.
because he was big up in Quebec.
Yeah.
I think he ran, if I'm not mistaken, the territory up there.
Mhm.
Then he comes to WWE, WWF, and it's like, hey, who is he? Even look at Dusty. You look at Dusty in WWE, like back in the day. Like
Yeah.
it's you think about like Ric Flair and everyone. They got this long, career, but it's not even within this company. It's outside. And when they joined the big conglomerate, it was kind of like, oh, they kind of got lost in the show. Ric Flair, totally different story. But like Dusty's kind of like, oh, we're gonna give him polka dots and he's gonna dance around. And so
You also have to remember Vince's ego when it came to that. If he didn't make you, he will break you and then maybe try to remake you if he likes you enough. This is not me just saying this is being a hater. I'm not. It's just this is the facts. There are documented cases everywhere of huge superstars and other organizations coming over and looking like a complete joke in WWE. And it's unfortunate and it's aggravating. So I had hoped that once Triple H took over, this would happen less often because there's still ego in this. People are still going to be like, well, we want to make you bigger. So I don't know, but yeah, this whole thing just I don't know.
Well, I think that's a good segue into like good talent being thrown to waste to our next topic, which has been our topic for I don't know months now.
Yep.
Obviously this past weekend, this is going to drop on a Monday, so a week ago at this point.
Yeah.
A week ago at this point. Karrion Kross and Scarlett have both been released. Okay, well, I want to put a disclaimer here because when he also went on the Ariel Helwani show and said that what he's saying is not a work.
Yep.
This is fact. And as we're recording this, for all we know, we could come up Monday, this episode drops, and it's like, shit, it was a work.
Yep. He get worked into a shoot.
However, I mean, R-Truth wasn't a work, but he still came back. One of the things I want to point out here that I'm seeing on X is that his shirts are not in clearance. They are still being sold on the WWE shop. So.
Okay.
That's an interesting tidbit. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing it online. The thing that really gets to me, the thing that throws it off, I guess he was offered a contract from what I've seen.
Yep.
They offered him a contract, and then they said,
well,
they gave him 24 hours. Oh, you did listen. Okay, I'll let you.
I listened to most of it, Sam. I was very intrigued by it. Yeah, he was offered a contract, and he had to respond within 24 hours or so, or else it would be pulled away from him. And what Karrion mentioned to Ariel Helwani was that he wanted to see the metrics and how they got to the amount that he was offered. Not that it was a bad amount, but he wanted to know what went behind the decision for that offer. And WWE or TKO would not give him that. So Karrion mentioned to them that, hey, I cannot make an informed decision within these 24 hours if I do not have these to back this up. And Scarlett was never even offered anything.
Yep.
Which is a surprise to me. And Karrion mentioned that, in the past, I think when he came back the first time, their deals were done at the same time,
Yep.
essentially, and then they were brought back. So I think Karrion expressed how confused he was, that why couldn't we just do things like we did before? And it just adds to the frustration of it for him.
Yeah, and I think he says, at least in the interview, where he asks, he goes, well, what about Scarlett? And they're like, oh, if you sign, we can look into her. It was like, that's not guaranteed. And it sounded like to him, assuming this is actually all him.
Right.
Because especially after the Seth Rollins thing, that's what throws me off.
Yep.
It's not even R-Truth. R-Truth really had momentum behind him to get him back. But Seth, it's just like, is this a work?
It's
I don't know.
funny. It's funny that he talks about them not giving him like the metrics to do stuff. That's such bad business to not give the person you want to sign information. So if anything, when I heard that, it actually made me think it might actually be a work. Because it's just like, that doesn't make sense business wise. Like, I feel like lawyers would get involved. Like, there would be some actual like shit that would happen if like I don't know. It's just something doesn't smell right, and I don't know. I mean, if he shows up somewhere else, then obviously I'll eat my words here. But I want to know how they would bring him back in. Maybe he'll take a vacation for a little bit, whatever, and then how does he show back up? Does he maybe screw Sami Zayn out of something? And then that's how you bring him back in. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think it's real. I think it's a work.
So the only thing that I can think of, because I don't know if you said this, Scott, or Ethan said it. John, I don't know if you said it or I saw it online somewhere. I want to give whoever had the credit for this one. So they're like, yeah, Karrion Kross isn't getting re-signed, but maybe Killer Kross is.
That, I think, was Ethan.
That was Ethan, yeah.
I think so.
To add to that, he did mention, I think in this interview, how Bray Wyatt had wanted to, or was it the other one? The other interview he did.
I think it was the separate one that he wanted, that Bray wanted them to be an extension of the Wyatt
and the
family.
Righteous. And the Righteous, since getting let go from AEW, they were posting stuff before they got let go. And they've been interacting.
Yep. I would love to see them all come and do something wherever they're going to be. Not obviously, I'm not just saying WWE, but if they all show up somewhere, I hope that they have one hell of a run, because I think the three of them will work so well together.
While there's things about this, like you said, Scott, that just don't quite smell right.
Yeah.
Either he's, as Ariel asked him straight up, and he said it with respect, because it's not something he would normally ask a professional wrestler, just because it's just respect to what they do in the business. He asked him straight up. He said, "Is this a work?" And Karrion, it very genuinely, he was saying, "No, this is not a work."
Yeah.
And either he's fooling everyone, like Andrew Garfield level fooling everybody.
I like that reference.
I don't know. It could be. No, it's guy, but I don't.
Yeah. The only thing, and this is not a counterpoint, but this is just something maybe to add, just like more evidence to it. Seth Rollins went on the Rich Eisen show right after he got hurt, and he spent like half of his interview telling Rich how legitimate this injury was and how he was probably going to be out for a while, and all this stuff. And he made you believe. And even Rich said, after Seth had, fooled us all, that, he made this feel like it was real. Like he came in with the crutches, like he sold that injury like it, like his life depended on it. So I love the fact that in the year 2025, kayfabe might actually be alive again. And I don't know, like that excites me a little bit as a wrestling fan for so long. It's just, I don't know. I just, I want to see something happen.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. It's especially with like well versed fans of wrestling as like we are. We kind of know what's going to happen and if something's not going to happen. I like this uncertainty, not really
Mm,
knowing.
yeah.
These days, you don't have it too often in the world of wrestling these days with social media and finding out stuff being leaked, things are leaked, and all this information online. Uh, so I'm interested to see what happens, if anything, from this.
Well, that almost goes like hand in hand. Going off of that is kind of like Naomi right now. Won Money
Right.
in the Bank. Now in off of TV for an unknown reason. It could be. Doesn't sound like it was even an injury,
Right.
but
Well,
not going to be on. Might be out for a while for some reason.
Yeah.
I heard the rumor with that is I have no back I have no backing to this. Just what people are saying in the comments is that she's pregnant
Mm.
is a possibility.
Yeah, I think her and Big Jim were going on Stephanie McMahon's podcast this week. So I don't know if that's out yet or if it's coming out later, but maybe that will give us more information on what actually happened. I know that she's been talking about it for a while that she wanted to have kids, and if that's the case, yeah, she's in the middle of a great run. But if she wants to be a mom first, God bless her. But do what you got to
Yeah,
do, and then if you're gonna come back, then come back with fury like Becky Lynch did after she came back from her having her child.
yeah.
Her and Jay don't have kids yet. Jimmy, I mean.
No,
No, no.
Oh, Jimmy does though.
I think with a previous, I don't know if he's been married before, but
Yeah, it just has 2 kids.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking online. No yeet there.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't sound like he was married prior. But anyways, um, yeah, it just says stepmom. All right. Yeah, I do like the uncertainty right now, and this has been my problem with creating shorts because everyone's like, oh, it's a big talking point right now. It's something big we can talk about.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, but we've been talking about this for a while. But also now, not only is he officially gone or off the or officially, I'm
Right.
using air quotes now.
Yep.
But like, there's a lot of uncertainty. Like I said, somebody says if you go to shop now, let's do this right now. How about that? Let me go to WWE shop. While, because somebody could have shared a screenshot and could be messing.
That is very true. That is very true.
So let me type in Karrion Kross. All 12 of his items are on them. Oh, no. Ooh, somebody caught it.
They're on clearance now.
They are, except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
okay.
6. Half the items are not.
Well, I think they are doing a sale right now. Does it say clearance or does it say sale?
It says clearance.
Okay.
But it's the t-shirts here. It's the t-shirts. The only one that's not is like the full art, like the t-shirt that has like the art all over it.
Yep.
That's not. The hoodie's not. The tank top's not. The shorts aren't. The youth shirt, like I explained with the adult one, where the art's all over it, is not. The hoodie is not. And then his extreme, photo of 15 by 17 from Extreme Rules is not. But we do have items on clearance now.
He also mentioned. He also mentioned he's had some offers from different promotions. And Ariel straight up asked him if AEW had offered him something, and he said no. But he did mention that he thinks maybe there's some promotions are afraid to reach out to him in case this is a work,
Right.
and the other promotions reaching out don't want to get in trouble if he truly is still there.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother like layer to it. Like the promotions don't know.
Yeah.
By this point, some of them might. And you would assume, and the other thing too, and this goes back to the Seth Rollins thing, and I guess this pissed off a lot of people, was the fact that there was a lot of writers who didn't know. There was a lot of people in backstage did not know. It was tight.
Which it should be. Not
Mhm.
everybody should know this because people do leak shit. So you should keep some of this stuff close to the vest because
Keep a lot of it close to the vest.
Yeah. So it makes for a bigger impact. I mean, yes, a lot of us can have speculation on if it's real or not, but that's fine. It's just speculation. But when you have a whole, 100 people know that it's not real, then it's not nearly as special, not nearly as fun. And it
Right.
shouldn't piss them off. They should have been like, well, shit, all right, I got to do better so I can be involved with this shit later on. It's all about how you look at it.
Yeah, and it helps sell it. I mean, we were talking when you and I were okay. We watched SummerSlam together pretty much. We streamed it, we watched it together. And the end of that pay-per-view, when obviously we knew it was tight knit.
Mhm.
Was that both nights or is that just one night? No, both nights. Both nights. So the 1st night with Seth Rollins and the cash-in.
Yep.
You and I were just like, oh, cool, he's coming out. Let him know he's coming for him, this and that. And he turned around and then he did and it really gave. This is a fun. I haven't had this in a long time.
Yeah.
The chills down my spine where I'm like,
right? Yeah.
oh, this is happening. Or the following night where one of the people who you didn't think was coming back to the company, Brock Lesnar's music kicks, and you're like, what? Like that legitimate feeling of excitement and unknowing. Like there's too much. And I think this is what somebody else said. I don't know if it was you or Ethan, where they said the people who were pissed off are the people who weren't able to leak the information. You don't have to John and I talk about this with like movies all the time. Or like, you watch a movie trailer and a trailer will tell you everything about the movie. And you're like, well, why do I need to see this now?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You got these violent scenes. You got scenes that kind of are major plot points in a trailer. And you're like, why? So, and I do like it. And then that goes into another thing where it sounds like there's rumors that WWE is purposely leaking false information.
Yep. That's true too. And honestly, I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Which I would also, and this is something I know Meltzer's point of contention, especially since he's not been a big WWE guy if ever. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if half the news he gets is from somebody who's purposely leaking it incorrectly. That's why people
sorry, if that's indeed what they're doing, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
These are things I don't want to know these things, and I think majority. It's just like you said, Sam, with the movies. It's I'll reference it again, the Andrew Garfield effect. Just lie. Like, what's the harm in lying about? What's the harm in lying about something that happens in a movie or something that happens at a premium live event or something like that? Catch people off guard, especially in this day and age where stuff leaks out and we have access to all sorts of information. I think lying. I'm not saying that lying is a good thing to do, but in this case, do it.
You can. I mean, let's look at. We're gonna totally jump here for a minute, but I think about when Disney first bought Star Wars. They had specifically Force Awakens here. They had like NDAs signed across the board. Nobody, even when that first trailer dropped, nobody knew what the hell was going to happen in that movie. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on in that trailer. Everything was so hush hush.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't wrestling be like that again? Why do you have to leak it?
No.
Why can't we have some joy back?
everybody needs to be in the know. Everybody needs their instant gratification. That's how these latest generations are. And it's unfortunate because nobody wants to be surprised. Everybody hates the slow burn when it comes to wrestling. They want everything done now. Every PLE has to have a satisfying ending to every single, feud that's happening. You can't extend this shit because now it's boring. It takes too long. I've heard every excuse in the book online, and it just boggles my mind. Nothing I love more is watching a story grow and turn into something. And I will say this: Hangman Adam Page's first storyline in the very beginning of AEW was probably some of the best storylines I've seen in wrestling in forever. It was a great slow burn, and then he finally won the title, and it was like, this is one hell of a culmination of 3 years of work. Yes, 3 years might be a long time for a lot of people, but hell, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Same thing with Roman Reigns' run with his run. And I called it years ago. I said he's going to lose at WrestleMania 40 because that's when the story demands his loss. And shit, what happens? He loses at WrestleMania 40. Sam and I got to be there. It was insane.
Yeah, and again, we always try. I think one thing that comes to mind when we talk about this, we always talk about the Monday Night Wars, and everyone wants to relive that, but nobody wants the surprise
Right.
of that anymore. You talk about the early days of AEW. I'll use this because this is something that we all can reference. Not to be a dick, but obviously John and I were definitely little when the Monday Night Wars were going on. So we weren't there for it. And I know you've talked about, and I've heard other wrestling fans talk about the excitement and the chills and the what's going on and what's going to happen. And this is the time when you only had television and you had to watch it on TV, and unless you DVR'd it. But like, I think of AEW early on. I mean, I remember watching Double or Nothing. John, you weren't with me, but I remember watching it. And yes, Jon Moxley was technically, people had the rumors going on, but the fact that he showed up at that first pay-per-view and not only confronted Jericho, I mean, that's a whole other monster. You can go back to, Jericho in Japan. Yeah. But like, not only did he confront Jericho, but the biggest guy in WWE fought the biggest guy at that point in the Indies, if not, over in Japan, arguably in the States outside of WWE. To me, it was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It would have been like Roman Reigns showing up in wrestling, Kenny Omega. You'd be like, what is going, like, what? Excitement.
Yep.
You didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, I live for that stuff. I live for that, like, whether it's in wrestling or whether it's at the movies or whatever, not knowing something. It's fine to not know something ahead of time. I think more people got to be. I wish more people would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna shit on my girlfriend here for a moment while she's and she can listen to this episode later and find out. She's definitely a proponent of an example of late millennials, early Gen Z. When I go to watch a movie or a TV show with her, she has to read the full synopsis ahead of time. Always. Reads it. If she doesn't like it, she won't watch it. She'll go watch YouTube videos. If she likes it, I guess I will, but I already know what's going to happen, so let's watch YouTube. I try to get her to watch Twin Peaks, John. We've had this conversation before. Twin Peaks is my favorite television show of all time. Part of the mystery of that show is you don't know what the hell is going on in it from start to finish. And it's a thinking show. You think about it. There's always something that you go back and revisit and be like, I didn't notice that. She read the whole thing. I had no interest in watching it. And I'm like, what? Why? Why even, like, how do you get excitement in life?
That's what she has used you for, Sam. That's where she gets all the excitement.
Yeah, and that's my excitement. So, no, just wait. I got a Laserdisc right there of Wings from 1929, which was the first Best Picture winner. That's a silent film. I'm going to make her watch it on Laserdisc in the coming weeks. That's my excitement for her.
Sam loves his physical media.
All for it.
All right. I think we're pretty much, have we run this one into the ground yet? Or was, actually, hold on. Let me double check. Let me see if Ethan I know, because he
I
sent
had
me
a point on old Cross.
Yes, and I know he would have added more to this, but he pretty much said notes on the Cross stuff. I kind of think it's a work in a way because he's still using his WWE name and his stuff is still on the site without a clearance price, which obviously we just confirmed.
Right.
Only signing him and not Scarlett is fucking dumb, but good on him for sticking with his wife. Facts. And I don't know how the writers forgot to tell Triple H about his work shoot promo.
Old real name Kevin Robert Kassar.
Yep.
Which I didn't know before.
He has it on his X handle.
John and I used to have this fun hobby from time to time to go and look at. We would read the real wrestlers' names as they come out.
I love doing that. Yeah, that was fun.
Funny.
So, that being said, I think something else interesting that definitely needs to be talked about. Again, another rumor. But we don't know at this point because it sounds like for a company that's not in competition, WWE's been definitely booking their shows in unison with AEW. So recently, this past week, it was announced that there was going to be a Brock Lesnar John Cena match that happened on September 20th. I've been looking around. There's nothing I can see that's been booked for September 20th.
Right.
So I'm confused. Originally, this came from Dave Meltzer. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe this was leaked. But also I heard that John Cena's retirement match is going to be moved to go head-to-head with World's End, which would remove the retirement match from Saturday night's main event.
God damn it.
Boston. But this is all rumors. I have thoughts on this if this is true. But again, there's a lot of hearsay right now on this. And I think it's out of WWE's element to be booking a pay-per-view this close to the event. Like this early. Or this late, if you will.
Yeah, this late, yeah. Oh, no, early. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Early, yeah.
Because you would be... Rumor has it September 20th. As of recording, it's the 14th of August.
Yep.
It's a little over a month, and you haven't even announced the pay-per-view. I don't even think they've booked a Saturday night's main event in September.
No, the next one I don't believe is until... Do they have one in the fall? I thought the next one was... Because I know obviously there's one in December, because that's going to be in Boston, but I don't know...
Yeah.
I don't remember if they have another one in like October or... I don't know.
I don't know if they do it. It seems like the pattern has been they've been doing it every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
I think. Somewhere around there, yeah.
Because I know they were supposed to do it 4 or 5 times this year, and then I don't know what they're doing for next year. But
let's see. I'm looking off of... They had San Antonio, Tampa...
Yep.
Atlanta, and then Boston. So that's 4. They're contracted, I think, to do 4 or 5 a year.
Okay.
NBC.
All right. So then, yeah. So maybe the next one is not until December. And that's fine, I guess. I don't know. The whole thing about the counter programming, I understand that, yeah, it might be faux pas to do it, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
From a business standpoint, it's a brilliant move. You suffocate your competition, I say with air quotes. You struggle. You make them struggle. They don't, because obviously people are going to want to go see the big things, especially if it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. People are going to want to go see that. Yes, I know. There's a portion of the IWC that's like, nobody wants to see this shit. Trust me. This is John Cena's retirement. Having Brock Lesnar come back out of the abyss is a big deal. So you want to showcase that. You want to give it a month. That's fine. We got Clash in Paris, so he gets to go and he gets to fight Logan Paul, who Logan's been screaming from the rooftops that he wanted a match with Cena before Cena's done. Perfect time. Let it happen. Off they go. They say Brock's not going to be in France. Maybe he will at the end. Do the same thing he did at the end of SummerSlam. Come out, attack Cena. There's more ammunition for whatever this September pay-per-view is going to end up being. Hopefully it's Bad Blood, because I think that'd be a perfect name for it, but whatever. Going back to the counter booking and the counter programming. From a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense because they don't want AEW to get another television contract, because they just made a shit ton of money with ESPN, and they want TNA, who's a company they have their hands all in now, to be the second best one. So how do you do that? You make AEW struggle. You counterbook everything to death. You make people show up at your events and drive their attendance down. So make TV execs look at it and go, you can't handle your own stuff. We're not going to give you a good deal.
Oh, absolutely. I do not disagree with that at all. Because it's the same thing with the ESPN thing.
Correct.
Where everyone's like, oh no, they're gonna lose and yeah, in the long run, if you keep that, you might lose people. Especially when they gotta pay for cable and the ESPN service is gonna go up. Granted, there are rumors that they want to bid for the WWE library, so take with that what you will.
That might be a good thing.
And then you would get a bunch of other sports content.
Yep.
In the long run, I won't pay $30. Like I won't. That's me. That's personally me.
Right. For me, I still have cable, so I'm not paying a dime.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is perfect for me. Someone who's always held on to cable, because I knew and I say this a lot, and I'm sorry to repeat myself again. All the streaming services cost more than what cable does now. And I said that from the beginning, and everybody laughed at me. Guess where we are now?
I knew it was going to happen. My problem was I didn't even watch enough TV to justify cable.
Right.
But no, it's like what I said last time. If you're giving something away for free, you're not making money.
That's true.
So when you have to up the price, sure, you're going to lose some people, but there are going to be. I said this with the Nintendo Switch. All right. I know I'm jumping around today. Where is your price point where you get basic economics, folks? This isn't just about giving you what you want. Where's your price point of where you will not invest anymore?
Right.
Is it the $10? Is it $15? Is it $20? Now, not only are you going to have to pay for Peacock for some things, you're going to have to pay for, ESPN. You're going to have to probably have some form of cable anyways.
Right.
And Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw.
Correct.
Yeah, where's your price point?
Yep.
Where is your price point?
And the funny part is, all this problem is just in the U.S. The rest of the world has Netflix. Everybody lives on Netflix. So they're all just like, sorry, U.S., you guys suck, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah. So I do get that. I do get the business perspective. But I know from like a fan's point of view, it is... and again, this is nothing compared to what happened in the 90s. It is irritating, I think, because it's like, oh, we want competition to be better, but also we're gonna. I think people are mad because they expected with Vince being gone, the WWE mindset would be like, oh, now we can let everything flourish again and grow, whereas they're like, oh, we're just gonna get the same issue where they're gonna destroy the indies, the competition, and then we're gonna be stuck with one product again.
That's true, but you also have to remember, when DX got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Triple H flat out said that pissant company. So you have to think he's had it out for them since day one. So the pain points and the anger and whatever has just been growing since that day. So I knew that Triple H is going to have it out for them one way or another. So this only just makes this, if this isn't true, again, whatever. But I feel like this might be true. They just want to drown AEW so that them and TNA can just run away with everything. And then who knows? I don't know. Personally, I hope MLW gets a television thing so they can jump in to the TV fun and then see what happens. I want more competition. I don't want this to happen. I like having options to watch things and watch people. But from, like I said, from a business standpoint, playing the devil's advocate, it makes perfect sense why they want to do this.
And I was reading earlier, just before we started recording, that rumor has it TNA might move to Wednesdays.
See?
See, there's not much. There's not much that Tony Khan can do with this either, because they're WWE is the giant of this business. So I think Tony Khan he needs help. He can't. He shouldn't just try to figure it all out on his own. That's too much stress for one man. And I think he needs to find ways. I'm sure there might be ways to help, like, alleviate when WWE does this type of counter programming. I and I think he needs to start looking into ways to do that, because it's just gonna the Triple H is just gonna just bring the hammer on him more and more and more. I think.
Yeah, I would see that. I think. I mean, Tony and his father, they both have tons of money from a bunch of different ventures. But I think you're right, John, in fact that he definitely needs a business operations crew. He needs to kind of, I don't want to say the fun's done. I think they've done pretty well. Actually, this year, 2025, I'm looking at, is actually becoming one of their more profitable years for pay-per-views.
I did see that too, and I was like, good for them.
But I definitely think John's right, where they definitely need to be like, all right, let's, we're having fun, but also what can we do to counter this? And again, they're going after the company. WWE was in power for 20 years with nobody.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Tony he does have this endless stream of cash coming from his father's businesses, but at some point, especially with how much WWE is growing, with the ESPN deal and being under the TKO uh, ownership, I guess Tony can have all the money he wants, but at some point it's not going to solve everything.
Right. The wrestling has to solve things.
Yeah, eventually he has to start thinking of things to do now before it's too late for them.
That's true too. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think this year has actually been pretty good in terms of product for them. They went to the smaller venues, which I think has definitely probably helped the bottom line a little bit.
Yeah,
and I don't mind the smaller venues.
Yes,
doesn't
no, I agree with that. The presentation of the smaller venues and everything like that, it looks good.
Yeah.
I like the way that it looks when it's on television now. I like the smaller venues.
Yeah.
I also like when they do the residencies for like a month in a certain location. It's cool. It just, it keeps bringing people in. I know that I think they do it over. Yeah, they still do it live every month, but I think, do they do other little things, like other little tapings and whatnot still too, or are they just doing the shows? I don't remember. I looked into that a while back, and I don't remember the finer details of it. But no, the smaller venues have been that's a great move. I mean, it's better to have a smaller number of people, but the place is full or close to full, than having a large venue and only having the TV side full, and they're doing their promos to the producers because there's nobody else on that side. So.
Yeah, and they keep going to a lot of the same places. Obviously, Philadelphia's next end of the month after they come back from the UK. They're going to be there from the 27th until the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And then back up in Canada for All Out. And they go to Pittsburgh and Huntsville. Jacksonville, can you come back to Tampa? Holy shit, dude. Why is it so much to ask? I just want
It's been the saddest thing ever since Sam's moved to Tampa. Wrestling has come to Tampa, what, 3 times, maybe? Maybe?
Maybe more than that. I mean, the WWE shows are usually an arm and a leg. It's like going to a playoff hockey game.
Right.
Like,
But that's what I mean. Like, they're not that you're going to the shows, but I mean, like, WWE or AEW.
AEW's been here once. I've been here for 3 years, end of the month. I think they pretty much have played they're in Boston like every other month.
Right.
They're in, Springfield. They're in, at Mohegan Sun. They've been they've been in my backyard in Kingston. I've flown up. John, did you go with Rob and I when we went to go to Battle of the Belts?
Oh, no, I wasn't there that night.
Yeah,
No.
URI. Go to URI, and they're doing that.
Yeah.
Hell, I think they're ready to book a show in my parents' backyard. That's 2.5 acres right there. I'm like, dude, Tampa, and they brag about it all the time. Tampa's like one of the wrestling capitals of the country. That and Memphis, I think, and New York. Like, these are considered big, like...
Yeah, the Meccas, yeah.
NWA's come. GCW's come. I've gone to see those guys, but man, I'm just like, just come back.
Not gonna lie, I'd love to see them come to Vermont. I mean, Burlington's only an hour and a half away, but shit, I mean, they got a university. UVM's right there, so you can jump right into a stadium, or not stadium, but into one of those arenas. I'd go. I'd love to be able to go to another show, but I got to travel like 3 hours one way or the other. So it's I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and if you don't want to travel, then you have to get a hotel room for the night.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. Sorry, SmackDown's in Boston tomorrow night, which is past by this point. Wow, interesting.
Yep.
I did see something last night on Dynamite that they did open up more seating for Forbidden Door. So,
oh, good.
I don't know how big the O2 arena. And TNA. TNA's another fucking one. They're gonna do Bound for Glory at Lowell. They were just in. Oh my god, I've had it up to here, and it's not that tall. I'm not tall, so it's not a lot. But I've had it up to here with this.
The wrestling gods are just mad at you, Sam. They moved away from the Meccas. You went to a false messiah.
Yeah, I moved and they're like, oh, we're gonna have blood and guts in Boston, and I was like, flip my table. I'm like, dude, bro. Scott and I, we've been to 2 Manias. I've been to a Double or Nothing. John and I, we went to how many 2 or 3 pay-per-views together. We saw Hell in a Cell. Yeah. We went to Clash of Champions. Bro,
quite a few.
What the fuck? I usually swear about. Holy shit, guys!
Boston's getting the Chicago treatment from AEW right now.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if old Mercedes Monet has something to do with.
Oh, maybe that. I mean, I didn't even think of her. I try not to think of her, but that's that theme song. No bothers me. Say what say.
Me neither. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that fucking theme song. Shit,
Sorry.
All right. That is the most we're gonna definitely get flagged for this episode.
It's not in the first. What is it? Like
7
minutes
seconds
or so.
Something. Yeah.
You're okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think going into 26 at least, because we got time before everything kicks in. We still don't know what's going on with Karrion. I say this, and then guess what? We'll find out tomorrow that, he just resigned. And like, well, this episode was a crapshoot.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're still, I think, in the golden age. I want to summarize. I still think we're in this like renaissance, this golden age renaissance of wrestling right now that we've been in since we started this podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. That's been our rants and ravens. Did we have anything else that we wanted to chat about? That was Oh, did Ethan give you some notes?
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me, because I completely forgot.
I did not. You would be mad.
So he only had 2 words, and it's not the words you're probably thinking of. Talking about WWE doing their PLEs on the same day as AEW stuff. He says that they are petty bitches, which, I understand.
Yeah. Well, that's all she wrote, folks. That's a reference that probably is going to go over everyone's heads. Not born prior to 1991. So, I guess before we get out of here, guys, John, where can people find you at?
I think I'm gonna have to get back on the Twitter. I'll just say, even though
Oh, that's right. I didn't want to repeat that from last week.
yeah, I'm like, I did that last week. All right, maybe I'll have to get back on the old Twitter machine so that way I can have my handle like you guys. I think I'll probably do that. That way I can get back on there. Yeah.
We generally just use it for the wrestling stuff at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got to get it back on there and let us know when your other stuff is doing well as well so we can promote that. Scott, where can people find you at?
Pretty much everywhere. Scotty J Stream. Still just trying to do what I can with with everything on X. Real life work has been very busy, especially with school starting soon. So I haven't been on there as much, but hopefully soon be on there more often. Trying to get interviews lined up for Catching a View from Above the Ring. But yeah, there's stuff on the pipeline. Just trying to get things in order.
Yeah, and you can find me as a SLB official. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X. I try to be on it from time to time. Try to keep up with everything. Want to make note that Ethan and I, we are wrapping up the G1 Climax right now. So check out our next episode of Rise and Sun. We will be discussing the results from the G1 Climax tournament. Like I said, we're on all platforms. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. We are over 500 followers. I would like to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. In the words of Paul Heyman, that is not a spoiler.
That is not a prediction.
That's right.
Yeah, that. We're on all streaming platforms. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us. Leave a review, leave a comment. Tell people why Bedlam Media and Above the Ring is the podcast of your choosing and why they should listen to us as well. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We're out of time. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.
Thanks, guys.